Alright, so the name of this video is going to be You Have to Learn to Like People. You know, growing up, there was a lot of people that I didn't like based off the fate of my life. Just from an intellectual perspective, I haven't read enough books to really be receptive of the fate of my life. But at some point, the more I read, the more I will just be receptive of things. Some things is just, it is what it is. So, with all that being said, all the women in my life pretty much are pessimists. And what I'm gathering is that there are supposed to be humbling experiences in life, meaning that everybody will not just have a happy, cheerful life. At some point, you're going to have to build courage, and everything is not going to go the way you want it to be based off people's code of ethics, people's, just based off the natural order of how things are. If you're living in apartments like I am now, you don't know who built them, but the fact that you take your time to try to figure out who did is what it is. So my thing is having to be a conversationalist and realizing that there are really people that get a lot of people get um, I guess people get invested. There are people that will invest in athleticism. People invest in your cooking skills, your people skills, and that's the difference between perhaps one person to the next. So, with all that being said, I guess me not being born a man and seeing all the benefits of it could still be naive right now, but I'm not because I got a book that I found on the ground called The Superior Man. So I have to be receptive of the fate of my life and that all these men in my life really, some of them do have a all of them really do have a superiority complex over my gender. And, I don't know what people be going through and stuff, but it's really hard to deal with coming from a broken home knowing that in the essence, all of us have to be empathic or empaths. And we have to realize that I have to realize that my mom uh, has to stress all because somebody has a struggle that's more than her. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust these people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who my dad is, to be honest with you. I grew up and my mama married a guy and then she was with another guy. I've seen her be around with several different guys. But from an intellectual perspective, I can tell that people were just analyzing things in my neighborhood. Perhaps like the case with Wayne Williams and stuff like that. I actually seen that guy before. Like I'm like, is that the guy that my mom used to have sex with? There are guys in my life that'll be like, I paid your mom to have sex with me. I was able to form a superior bond over her. I don't think that's fair. And if my mom leave this earth before me, that is gonna be my main thing. People want to say that, what I'm saying, I'm egotistical or cocky, but that ain't the truth. The truth is, my mom didn't have to give nobody love, and I don't either. So we don't have to kiss nobody ass. So if I read more books and understand that it's people that really want me to respect them and value their struggle, that's cool. I watch documentaries about death and all that stuff. I don't expect a perfect life. Because when you working in fast food, you see all kind of people come in and be like, I wonder what they going through because they look rough or they look this, da, 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 da. You will be judged for the way you look. Just like, my mom be like, well, you need to do something to your hair. Women are doing all this extra shit. It's just, it's inventions, like Madam C.J. Walker invented the straight comb. Somebody really values our hair texture being in a straightened fashion. It's just like you can't win for life. I don't care how you do it. So, with all that being said, other niggas in my life, they predictable. That's the only reason why they agitate me. You know what I'm saying? naturally as a woman have observed their behavior, and there's nothing new that they can do to me. I ain't impressed by shit they do. They are predictable. And I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck what I've been through. My life would have been better if I'd been a boy, because there are so many benefits to it. We're being viewed as the inferior gender for various reasons, for obvious reasons. And that is a pride breaker. And some of them understand that. That's why they don't care. But I wouldn't want to go around having sex with women. There is, like I say, you see a movie like How to Be a Player, and you see, like, I watch Lifetime movies with my mom. The whole sexualization, objectificational mindset, the way in which men and women respond to it. Over time, it really just, it's ridiculous. The way I see men act when they're sexual, it's really a bit turn off, and I think that's what I want for us. I guess that's what being an intellect is about. At some point, there are going to be less narcissistic people because of the rules being established with age limits and people being forced not to have sex at early ages, or experience the sexual nature that human beings can experience and stuff. Because at the end of the day, the way that they responded is really fucked up. Being that it's a the way that men are responding, it's disheartening. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, long as I got some money, I can stick my dick in who I want to. So I guess way in the future, when I'm gone, people are gonna realize that there is a such thing as a disdainful male, or a disdainful woman. So, when you start to experience things against your own will, I read the definition of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is nothing more than your thoughts coming to life, and you're being very emotional. That's all it is. For me, that's what it is. There are people that have had sex with me, and it's hard not to feel their presence because I reject it. With religion, I reject it, period. So, for anybody that's trying to keep their children safe, the best thing we can do is invest in their safety. I've been watching, like, people like Kevin Gates and Drika Gates, and I'm like, we may be a little jealous of these new babies and stuff that's born, by nature, but let's try to see, how do human beings respond to not being put in a box, and trying not to. Most people, when they have babies these days, they try not to make them narcissistic. So, being that people were sitting there plotting on my orgasm and saying that I looked at people in general in a sexual way, they trying to make this and that out, the third out of it. It's like, either you respect somebody or you don't. And everybody can't, like I said, everybody don't have the same life experiences. So everybody, won't have the same, effects to the way that they feel and think. Some people really have had a good life, and they ain't really, rejecting themselves, or they ain't really feeling a certain type of way, because that's all words is. Wordplay. It's all a mind game. So they really wanted me to give my love to a woman. I live with my little sister, and her dad has dead parents, supposedly. And, like I said, this is what coming from a broken home means. All this drama and shit, we turn it into actual drama. There are movies about stuff like this. You know, there ain't no connection between me and him. He'll be like, you gotta eat. I care about you. I got a lot of shit that I'm dealing with personally. At some point, if you're born on this earth, you're gonna have to submit to something or somebody. You really think I want to give my goddamn self to a man? I mean, I listen to the music. Every time, I always say that when I listen to Big Pimpin', I'm like, there are men that's actually being encouraged to reject women. It happened naturally. Probably because maybe, there are women that so and so, that there's just more things that I have to learn. I'm born into, a situation to where I'm getting treated like shit all because of my womanhood. I'm not saying that I'm getting treated like shit. I'm just saying I'm being viewed as an inferior gender. A man can't make me feel good about myself. So then it's always some shit. Well, then you chose to be a lesbian. Well, then if you don't want to be with a man, you ain't gonna be shit because some of these men are out here. Da, 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 da. It's a effort, man. You just can't win. I was sitting there. I was just watching a video about like perhaps construction working, building like buildings, skyscrapers, whatever they do to using extractors and shit to build and put pieces together, and they be singing songs in the rain because they build courage and hope. They don't doubt themselves. You come together, you gotta learn to work with others. I'm doing something simple like cleaning up a fast food restaurant. They gave me the job experience opportunity. I'm not a skilled worker. Well, to myself anyway, because the way that people do certain things, it really counts, right? Watching little videos of how people rotate their food and do it, they want you to be passionate about it, right? They want you to be humble. Sit down, like Kendrick Lamar said. And my thing with fast food is the reason why I'm not passionate about food is because the fact that I've seen some men and I be like, man, I wish I was him. Because if I was him, I'd be doing me. I'd be doing this, that, and the third. And it shows. Half these niggas is like rappers and shit. They'll tell you, shit, my name, I'm a random person on this earth. I can tell that you really want to be me. But it really is. A lot of these people really do be going through shit. Don't get that shit twisted. Cause have this music and shit I listen to on a daily basis. Some of these people really have been through shit. They drunks, they alcoholics, but they goddamn, they somehow they by the power of a higher power, they keep it together. I don't take for granted YouTube and shit. I don't take for granted these little videos people shooting their ghettos and shit because it mean the world to me. It gets me through my day. I'm about to try to grow some John Wicks. It's gonna take a minute. It shows my hair is a reflection of my identity as a whole. The top of my hair grows faster than the back, meaning that I'm probably, I'm sleeping on the back of my hair more than the front of my hair, I guess. But it's a representation as a whole of who I am. I got a lot of growing to do. See what I'm saying? And when somebody cares about me, if I let them in my hair, they'll fix it. They'll make sure everything is up to par. That's how life works. You grow like a tree. And when one of them limbs fall off, it better come off naturally. If not, somebody cut them motherfuckers off, you gonna have to goddamn, there's gonna be some stress involved with that, cause that shit ain't natural. I'm very blessed to have my limbs and everything, and I am trying to appreciate myself through feminism. Because in actuality, there's some men I've seen, and I'm like, man, shit, that nigga look good. Not in a sexual way, but like, shit, if I was him, I'd be trying to do like a little modeling career or something. You know what I'm saying? And people know who my family is, so I'm like, when I see myself, I see these people. They're pretty good cooks. They all right. I grew up with these people, but at the same time, it just depends. Everything has passion behind it. Like, one positive thing I can say about this Jimmy guy that my mom married is that, food, I'm pretty sure is something he likes. And that's one thing we have in common because, that's probably something his mom probably was a good cook. We used to eat at this restaurant called Anna Laura's and stuff. But yeah, a lot of that stuff is really like, a lot of shit in life just happened naturally. Like I said, I was an only child for 9 years, so my mind is a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't receptive of all this extra stuff going on because at the end of the day, there is a disconnect. If I got a dad and then I got a little sister that got another daddy, it is a broken thing. We had to come together some kind of way. People really think that, and I am, it's not about, it's about passion. That's why I don't work out now as much as I want to because I'm like, I want to be passionate about it. You got to be hydrated to really be in shape. I run a little bit, but I won't be as macho as I want to be because it's not about being macho. It's about being smart. If I'm dehydrated and I know, you can tell when somebody's dehydrated. Don't be going all out. and just running 2 hours after work for no reason. Drink you some coconut water, whatever you need to do. Drink you some water. Understand the land around you. Understand how to build things. Shout out to Kevin Gates. You know, that's one of those people that makes good music. And I'm saying in my life, I actually appreciated a Geechee accent, and these people have recorded songs, and it's always something to do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta appreciate the value of life. I went out there to Mississippi, around the beach, and the what this shit called, the hotel rooms and shit. People want you to respect them when you eat at restaurants. Do you respect my restaurant? Can you buy it instead of sitting here eating it for free? You gotta build. I guess that's what being a narcissist is about, right? It's like you want to do something, but something stopped you. I done had somebody tell me that. I don't know if they was using reverse psychology or not, but they were like, I was hating on you so bad. Most of them men. Now, as far as not hating is in a sense of jealousy, but hating is in a sense of I've got an advantage over you, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to make you look bad because at the end of the day, I know the way your mind works. There was people, a man that told me that he used to study me when I was a kid, and realized that he was saying like you can never be a man. So at the end of the day, this is a lifestyle that you could never live. We sitting here trying to be smart. They got another word for lesbian called a stud, and stud is basically a horse stable, which is dumb. But I guess you know nothing's really dumb if you're really trying to have a new identity for things that that has been repetitive. I mean, because most people who don't read a lot, that's you tend to do that, and that's not an unintelligent way of thinking. It's just something you do when you're tired of hearing or seeing the same old things. You kind of bring a new definition to it. But yeah, people really want to humble you. I really do wish I could be a man because there's so much power that come with that, and they really want me as a woman to really uplift them, and that's not gonna happen. So motherfuckers want to view me as a man hater because of the definition of my womanhood, which is not cool. These niggas is hating like they said, not in a jealousy type way, but in a way like, yeah, you a woman and this is the definition of manhood and you can't really compete with it in a sense. A lot of these women out here, they having sex with men, they got babies and shit, and they like, shit, I did that shit. I did what I was supposed to do and shit. I'm giving love to a man. That's the best I can do. They're predictable. The people in my life are not okay. So at this point, my goal is to try to learn more things and move to another place like Canada or something. Because at the end of the day, you know, when you really want to detox from shit that you go through, like dealing with death and stuff, stress is a big part. I want to like at least have me an apartment or something where I can go to, hop on a Greyhound or anything, something, or hop on a plane and just go to another place and go to work. That's how I see this fast food thing is working. You actually put in some work, and you have to have people skills, especially if you ain't the one that built it. But if people see that you value and respect them, they'll give you leeway. So my reputation is being ruined by manhood, and I guess I'm not really mad about that because at the end of the day, if I was a man, I would do as much as I could. And have these people, like I said, creativity goes a long way. Have these people ain't even as perfect as they seem. So let me not exaggerate them in my head because I tend to do that. But that's the beautiful thing about videos and stuff. People will look at videos and think your life is just perfect. You ain't taking no losses. And when you meet them in person, everything looks all raggedy and shit. And they're like, man, I never would have thought from that rap video, that you was living like this. But you ain't living for nothing. So that's the point. All right, but yeah, I work at McDonald's and Walmart. I'm in Summerville, South Carolina. It's like the county's called Dorchester. Ladson, I don't know, it's probably between the two. You know how it is with different districts and stuff like that. You got to study your environment around you. There's a lot of studying I have to do. So when I get my checks, I guess from McDonald's, I'm going to invest in notebooks and my mind. Pretty much read random information and write it down. That shit still works, yeah. When you actually read something and write it down twice or one time, it actually begins to apply to your life, your just your way of thinking. I think the whole process of learning, or the way you learn it is still a beautiful thing. It always will be. I seen a walker in McDonald's last night. I'm like, we really it just gets on my nerves when I see all the things. I'm like, somebody really got something wrong with them to themselves. I guess that's why people need to appreciate, people that's really putting in effort to keep a business running. Appreciate the people that eat, because I know people will be like, you know what I'm saying, it's a tit for tat thing. Like, you invest in athletes and stuff. You watch the Olympics, and people really are, conditioning their bodies to stay in certain shape, but they're also, studying. They're skillful. They're also like, well, I don't want to try to eat too much grease because I don't mentally think that it's normal for the body to stay healthy. If something is not normal to you, but you're still passionate about it, you're still gonna do it. There may be an athlete that still eat a cheeseburger every now and then, but at the same time, you know, you you're doing it from your heart. Like, shit, I love me some McDonald's. Goddamn, I'm still gonna eat me a cheeseburger every now and then, regardless of the whole, specifics of keeping your body, as healthy and pure as possible. But that's the beautiful thing about McDonald's. I'm like, peanut oil mixed with a potato. I think that's what it is, right? But anyway, yeah, you start to value life a lot more when you go through things and you start to experience stress. So is it a humbling experience? Perhaps. I don't understand though. It happened. It happened naturally though. I mean, I understand, but like I said, there's a book I'm gonna read called The Superior Man. So that means that all these women in these heterosexual unions, they really have to learn to just deal with the things that they're going through. But I'm pretty sure that they're reaping the benefits. If I decided to submit to a man, then I probably would, there probably are a lot of good benefits to that. But like I said, I can't think like that. There are men that be like, well, I just would have submitted. I got bitched. This shouldn't have happened to me. I understand the concept of molestation. I would have just submitted. It's easy for anybody to say that. There are stigmas that come with my womanhood. We are being viewed in a negative aspect. So I have to prove otherwise. Once you get to a point where you don't have to prove yourself to people, you're going to have to do it anyway, because people go through shit. Like I said, I got a mom that married a guy who got both his parents are dead. When shit happen like that, you have to use a lot of reverse psychology on people. That's the disconnect between me and my little sister. They want me to respect their life. I don't know how to feel. I grew up and I knew one person as my dad, but he actually had to invest in. He has to. People really do a lot of shit to be successful. Like, I don't eat a lot of this. I don't eat a lot of that. I'm trying to develop passion for something simple as eating. I got a book about eating food because I'm like, in essence, I'm not supposed to just do nothing with my life. I'm a pessimist because of the inferiority complex that I have to men. And then, I guess that's the whole point of submission, when women submit to their husband. Well, I mean, yeah, we both females and I may have my inferior moments or not, but I learned to love a man and you might need to do the same thing. There's some motherfuckers that have seminars about like, shit, I submitted, I did my job, I got my kids, ain't shit I can do about it now. Now stop being so pessimistic and respect my husband and all that shit. My thing is trying to figure out, just like these men think that I'm disdainful, the feeling is so mutual. The feeling is so mutual. But they'll be like, nah, you a man hater. You looking at this shit in a negative aspect. This is my wife. I live like this. I'm a man. Polygamy is acceptable. I might have to go to work and I have somebody that I, you know, have sex with because we really got caught up in the moment where we were really passionate about what we were doing. But that's the thing about being a human being. You will have to worry about others because some of these people do have weight on their name and they can do what they want. And my thing is trying to understand their disdainful behavior. I'm a woman that want to be a man, so it just means that I really do want another woman to feed my ego because that's the natural flow of things for men. Because if you love a woman, they will feed your ego. Am I wrong for being jealous of that? No. These niggas just want me to be a woman, and I don't blame them for that too. I feel you on that, but that ain't gonna happen. That's the reason why niggas don't like dice, because it is damn near you really want to be a man. And I don't blame y'all for getting mad, but shit, some people are gonna die a certain way. I choose to die dyke. Ain't shit you can do about that. Because at the end of the day, I'm sitting here watching all these people sacrifice themselves for others. My mama married a guy. He can't appreciate my mom naturally because she don't have a struggle to him. This is where reality hits in. He pulled out a gun on my mom and be like, I kill your mom. My mama dead. I ain't got shit to do with that. It's gonna hurt me if my mom leave here. But at the same time, this is reality. I don't understand when he said, you say that now. I don't understand when you learn the concept of death, but that's the lesson that people want you to learn. I can't eat the same. I can't drink the same. How you think we feel? We losing people too. I lost my granddaddy. But at the end of the day, like I said, people be hurting. I be hurting about the fact that everything in my life ain't the same. There are people that are missing. There are people that are not always there. I don't eat. When I eat and shit, I don't eat because I'm just hungry. I eat because it is passion behind it. Once something happens and your emotional state changes, that's just what it is. You will appreciate it more. I stress when I eat and shit. I be stressed out because of being an empath. So when you go through things, people want to make you feel insecure because that's the natural flow of things. Well, you can never be me. This, that, and the third. Now, if I go out, they got this whole concept of being a butch. I get mad every time I work out because of this concept. I have to be receptive of an egotistical male. But good thing my so-called narcissistic way of thinking or being, I've helped contribute to some of these men, uh, I guess music and stuff. And it is something that at least I was listening to your ass. But that's what happens when you go through things, it's the natural flow of things. You may have somebody that is superior to you and they want to humble you, or they want to make you feel, they want you to be insecure because it's only a natural reaction to the fact that they may, to the fact that others are going through things worse than you. When I think of the lifestyle of a man, that's all I feel is they're egotistical. Am I wrong for wanting to be a man? Now, people go through real shit. Like I said, my mom ain't no egotistical woman and shit, but we go through shit and we stress. Last time I seen her, she just looked stressed and she was laying down. Life ain't gonna happen like that. You're gonna have a couple of happy moments, and then once you just realize things, simply realize, you begin to stress. There are men, there are women I grew up around, and there are men that want to be like, well, I've got access to this, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? I've got paperwork, this, that, that, that. You can never be me. Either you down with it or you not. But I'm insulated. I think about shit like that. When I clean a building or something a little bit, I'm like, I wonder if where this trash is going, who's got to go through it. Teach myself how to fly a plane. It ain't really something you just got to take. Life is a gamble. You just jump in that motherfucker and you got to just Google different resources, paperwork or somebody's opinion of their experience. That's basically what it is. I'm done, I guess.